Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, my name is Iftikharunnisa Fathiyya, and now we will learning about the vocabulary of profession. And next slide, I will show you a picture and you must guess what the picture is. Nah, what is this? Can you guys guess it? This is the profession that work in the school. They always bring a books and marker in their hands and bag. Their outfits always look neat, clean, and polite. They are the same with students. On any given day, they will wear uniforms that have been determined by their school. So, can anyone guess what the picture is? What the profession from the picture? Okay, next slide. Yeah, that's right. The picture before is a teacher. The definition of a teacher is someone who has devoted himself to teaching a science, educating, directing, and training his students to understand the science he teach. In this case, the teacher not only teach formal education, but also other education and can be a figure that is examined by his students. From this explanation, we can understand that the role of the teachers is very important in the process of creating a qualified next generation, both intellectually and morally. Who becomes curious about a teacher's duties other than teaching? Here I will explain one by one the duties of a teacher. Listen carefully. The first is teaching learners. A teacher is responsible for teaching a science to the students. In this case, the main focus of teaching activities is in intellectual terms so that students know about the material of a discipline. And the second, educating the students. Educating the students is different from teaching a science. In this case, the activity of educating is aimed at changing the behavior of students for the better. The process of educating students is more difficult to do than teaching a science. In addition, a teacher must be able to be a good role model for his students so that students can have good character in accordance with the norms and values that apply in society. And the third is training learner. A teacher also has the task of training his students to have basic skills and abilities. When in public schools, teachers train students about basic skills and skills. Then, in vocational schools, teachers provide advanced skill and proficiency. And the fourth is guiding and directing. Learners may experience confusion or doubt in the teaching learning process. A teacher is responsible for guiding and directing his students to stay on the right track. In this case, in accordance with educational goals, give encouragement. And the last is give encouragement student. The last point of a teacher's task is to encourage his students to strive to advance. The form of encouragement that a teacher gives to his students can be in various ways, such as giving gifts. And the next is the role of teacher in education. Teachers have an important role in education. After understanding what are the duties of responsibilities of teacher, then we will understand what the role of the teacher for his students. The role of the teacher is as follows. The first is as a teacher, that is a person who teach a science to his students. And the second is an educator, that is people who educate their students to have behavior that is in accordance with the norms that apply in society. As a guide, as a motivator, which is person who provides motivation and encouragement to his students in learning. As an example, that is a person who sets a good example to his students. And next, administrator, the one who records the development of his student. And the next, evaluator, the person who evaluates the learning process of his students. And the last is As an inspiration, a person who inspires his students so that they have a purpose in the future. So that is material today about vocabulary of profession that a teacher. So thank you from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.